Claude. Hi, how are you? I'm not Claude. Neither is she. Have you tried it yet? He's JP. We're the right side. Hi, how are you? Y'all good?
Hi, how are you?
Y'all good? What's good?
What's good?
What's good? We have some news. I'll just tell you all the things quickly and then we'll give you our news. Also, we won't forget that there's actually 2 words of the day today.
Oh my gosh.
Did people love our words of the day? My family thought it was hilarious.
Jared's dad, I got home and Jared got home before me last night and I walked in and he was on the phone and he goes, "What was your word of the day?" And I was like, "Did you watch?" And he said, "No, Papa's on the phone. He says y'all are going to get in big trouble."
My mother-in-law called and she was like, "What's that word again?" I'm like, "Futz."
Somebody on Facebook used it.
Thank you.
They actually said, "I've just been futzing on Facebook this morning."
See? Brilliant.
And then another friend of ours was like, "Oh yeah, they grew up in the Midwest, I think it was." I'm like, "Oh yeah, that's common. That's common
See,
lexicon
my mom
over there."
said that word when I was growing up. So I would like, but it was
That's so
hilarious.
funny.
Chris was cracking up when we were on the phone. Then his mom called. She goes, "Tell me the word one more time." I was cracking up. I'm like, all right. It's just, look, it's dictionary.com. It's not us.
I
So-
really thought that was such a us word. I
know.
thought you made it up.
No, I didn't. I didn't make it up. And I do have words of the day. We do have Speaker Ledbetter coming up at 10:30. Yes, you heard that correctly. So all eyes right here. And then after that, today's Tuesday. And you know what that means.
Tuesday.
It means
What's up, brother?
we're spilling the tea and we'll have another allegedly for you.
Allegedly.
Tuesday tea.
And then all the news that we can pack in 2 hours is what we're going to do.
That was good.
But was it good?
I like the Tuesday tea.
Tuesday tea.
It's just
That
we're going to spill it.
hold on, that reminds me of Waterboy. What did
My
he
name
say?
is Bobby Boucher.
No, Tuesday. So hot. That's what it is. Okay, I won't keep going.
I love Waterboy. Anywho, so before we get to our word of the day, and actually today there are 2, and I'm going to let y'all pick which word you choose for our word of the day. Dictionary.com, New York Times, both popped up because they're listening to us. Then we're going to take a tour around Twix, then the montage. But first, JP, I need some sound with this one. We have some news. Allison Sinclair, where are we going?
Y'all, it's such a big day. I've never done this before, but we're going on a business trip.
So fancy.
It's a very serious business trip. That's what grown people do.
Is it?
Yes. So we're going on a business trip to Dallas.
Actually, it's grapevine.
Which, I mean, that's like saying Hoover
Yeah,
versus Birmingham, right?
Yeah, it is.
I've never been there to Grapevine, but we were invited and we are taking them up on the offer to go to the Turning Point USA Pastors Convention.
How about that?
How about that? For 2 days. I don't know what's going to happen to the show. You'll have to ask JP that. But we're so excited. We're traveling together. Now, Amy Beth, hindsight, y'all should learn. Amy Beth booked the flights. I booked the hotel.
Guys,
Guess where we're staying?
we're going to be comfortable on our flight out, sitting where the shavers always sit because there's only one space on the plane where we sit. And no, it is not first class. No,
Is it the exit row?
always the exit row.
Thank you.
Okay.
So it's always the exit row. This is where we sit. Welcome to our world. But Allison Sinclair, why don't you tell everybody where we're staying? We're going to have a business meeting actually here. And we're going to record part of it. And you don't even, this is B-roll, behind the scenes footage. This is a dream. I thought she was kidding when she said we're going to stay at so-and-so. I thought she was kidding. And then I realized, oh my word, she's not kidding. She's not kidding.
It was, first of all, it was the best price. It was a 50% off sale. And you know I love a good sale. So it was the best price.
Remember, we met at a Kohl's parking lot. We do sales.
It was so $95 a night in Dallas,
Woo!
Texas. Okay.
Okay.
At the Great Wolf Lodge. And this is really what put me over the edge. $95 a night plus free entry to the water park.
That's the part that matters.
Passes for both days for free.
We are grown folks going to stay in the lodge that has a kiddie water park. This is where we're staying.
Wait, have you never been? It's
Well,
not
I've
just
passed
for
it.
kiddies.
I know
never
it's
been.
not. I'm kidding. We pass it on the way into Gatlinburg often, and we say that would be so fun to
Oh.
go to.
Y'all are, it's going to be, look, we could go stay at the Hyatt that looks like a prison, or you can go stay at the Great Wolf Lodge. And every morning and afternoon and evening, you can shut down the day on that giant twisty water slide. And it's going to be the best thing ever.
Let's go.
The rooms look like tents.
It's a little sus, maybe a little outside of my comfort zone, but I'm going. I'm going.
Yeah.
Abs, I can't believe you actually thought I was kidding. I walked in this morning and started talking about it, and she goes, "Oh, you're serious?" I'm like, "Oh, you
Well,
must-
I know you, and so sometimes you'll pull something for a while before you say you're kidding. But no, literally, it looks like a nice place, but very fun and kind of like Splash at Panama City Beach. We stayed with the kids once, but better. And this time Wesley doesn't have strep throat while we're there. It's just us grown-ups on an adult trip going to Great Wolf Lodge.
You think any of the other pastors are staying there?
Probably not.
Absolutely not, unless they have young children. But let me tell you, Eric Metaxas is closing out the 3-day event. Meg Basham, you see my book back there? Meg Basham is going to be there. That girl's mind, her ability to write. Come on. Then Seth Gruber of White Rose Resistance, who is an incredible pro-life advocate and abolitionist. I'm not sure. Then there are people like Joe Boot, who is an incredible theologian. He's from Canada, and others. Like, it's on and on. I guess Erica Kirk is opening the week. I'm not sure when.
No, she speaks
Closing.
tomorrow night.
Okay, so
Oh,
we'll be there and have to act right. But
You're missing my face. Like
This
it's
is
a great.
incredible.
I mean, Graham Allen.
who's that cool
John Amanchukwu, who we love.
Rev Truth,
Rev
remember?
Truth.
He's the guy, if you were with us before, Brad from Crimestone County probably remembers. Rev Truth read at the Hoover Board of Education meeting, city council, whatever meeting, and then almost got escorted out. It was really fun. He's there. I mean, our best friends are there, basically.
But no, you're forgetting like the one person that I might actually freak out about, which is so stupid because they're just
Who
people.
Are you going to? Oh,
Steve Dace.
whoa.
Yes.
Steve Dace in lights. Steve Dace.
He just,
Guys.
I can't.
He shaped our thinking.
Although I did listen to his podcast on dispensationalism this morning, and it's entirely too boring. He had some sweet man on. I sent it to y'all.
Yeah, yeah. I saw
And it might be worth a listen. I'm only halfway through, but who is like 80. and
I'll
it
let you
just
tell me
wasn't
about
really
it.
going. But he's just so, I've listened to him for so long. But it'll be interesting because, there's a lot of talk. I think it'll be interesting to watch Erica Kirk in person and just get a feel for her, get a feel for Turning Point, where they are, and I don't know, hear from a ton of great speakers. I'm trying to think who else.
I
was
went to the
in-
store and got a notebook today so I could take notes.
Yeah, I brought my notebook.
So
too.
excited. I
Jeff
knew you would.
Durbin.
Jeff Durbin.
You know
Oh,
Jeff Durbin.
and then there's somebody else incredible who's, I can't. Jeff Durbin. There's one. Anyway, they're all amazing. We will record as many. We'll try to get interviews. I just had an idea on how we can get with and meet Steve Dace. You're gonna.
What is it?
You're
Like,
gonna really like this
Cause
idea.
a scene and streak through the
Steve!
sanctuary. What is it?
No, we have a friend's son who works for him.
Well, you know what? Even if we don't, we're going to take all of our equipment, try and get some interviews for y'all. Even if that doesn't happen, it'll be great speakers.
Mm.
And there's a water park.
That's
At the end of the day, do you need anything more?
Well,
Good coffee.
you know how I knew Allison was serious about the Great Wolf Lodge is because, well, first of all, my dad called me last night, And we were just talking. He was like, "What do y'all got tomorrow?" And I was like, "Oh, we're going to Dallas." And there was like 3 seconds of silence, and he just goes, "What?" It's like, "Yeah, we're going to Dallas." And I told him the the scoop, and he goes, "Well, where y'all staying?" And in my head, I was like, "Oh, Allison said it was someplace." And then I get an email notification on my phone, confirmation at the Great Wolf Lodge. And I'm like, "Oh, Allison just booked this at the Great Wolf Lodge." And my dad goes, "Oh, fun."
That was so your dad, the way you just said that.
Yeah, that's exactly. Yeah.
I mean, we didn't decide to go till yesterday morning. And I feel like this is just very us. And when life gives you an opportunity to do something fun, you do it.
Did you get us two, or are we sharing?
Well, I mean, me and you.
No, we're in a room, but like two queens. Or are we like?
Oh no, we got two queens.
Okay. Because
I
we
didn't know
are
you were
two
a
queens.
snorer or a kicker.
Nope. I stay still, and sometimes my husband thinks I'm dead.
JP has his own family room.
Well, I'm gonna have to barricade my own door so I don't sleepwalk outside of the hotel.
Oh shoot!
No, I'm just kidding. It's not that bad of a problem anymore.
Maybe we can ask him if we can just join, but not really. Across the hall, maybe.
If we hear the door slam,
I'll hear you.
Up.
I'll jump up and be like, JP.
That's what moms do. Have y'all heard and read the stories where it says that like moms that's what a mom means, but after women have babies and they're moms, that they never sleep the same again because your body is so in tune to noises and like on alert all the time.
Huh.
So if you start running around with scissors next door, we'll come get you.
We'll actually know. We will.
You'll just know.
It's crazy. It is crazy. Wait until you're married and your wife is like, "Yeah, I knew that was going to happen." You'll tell her something about one of the kids someday, and she'll already know. And it's not because they told her; it's because she just knows. It's crazy how God.
Do you have a story?
Links us together.
Can y'all imagine me sleepwalk sliding down the water slide at
Yes.
2 a.m.?
Yes, and we'd have to come pick you up from the jail.
I just wake up and I'm in the pool.
Wolf jail.
How did I get here?
Like, how did I get in the pool?
Gosh, we're gonna have some great video. If you thought the State House video was good,
Oh yeah, this is I wonder if the Great Wolf Lodge or the church we're going to has a basement or a dungeon that we can tour.
Guys, should we wear a Rightside hat so they know we're actually? We probably should have some kind of identification. Like police flip open their badge.
Press badge.
I don't know.
This is when we could have used my bedazzled microphone.
I'm wearing. Oh, we can't forget the microphones. Did you get them?
I was just thinking that when
the cute
talking,
little microphones,
the little lapel ones
that Nick Shirley uses.
Yeah, we don't have fuzz. We do have little balls, but we don't have fuzzy balls.
We don't have hot fuzz.
No, it's just the little
like
cute microphone-y ones.
It's fine. It's like what all the hipsters are using.
It's gonna be so cool.
It's awesome.
I don't know if they're waterproof though.
We'll find out.
Take them down the swirly slide.
Okay, so that's that news. So just remember, we're going to have a post up tomorrow that tells you, don't forget about us. Don't forget about me. That song lyric, remember that song?
Don't you?
So for 2 days, we'll be learning,
ever.
And then we'll be back on Friday, refreshed and ready to go. Like, let's go. And hopefully we'll tell you that we've made a ton of new friends, but there's that. All right, guys, before we do Twix, would you like to hear the word of the day?
If I want to know my choices.
Okay, I'm going to give you choices.
By the way,
What?
we had a very serious meeting yesterday.
Uh-huh.
And
Put my glasses on.
I think we've decided, well, should I announce it?
What announcement?
About our election day tailgate?
Well, we're mulling it over.
This has not been. We need a team of people to help pull this off.
Well,
no, we don't.
Allison, that
this
was
is
just
how
my
all
way.
of our conversations
Allison,
go. What?
That was just my way of getting people involved.
Yeah.
Oh, we need a team.
A large team.
Sign up to bring snacks. But anyway, wait, what was I going to say?
Tailgate.
Oh, what was the word for tailgating or for what they did in England when they would go drink and then go vote?
That's a great question.
You did it.
I know, but it's on my old English words.
All right, I'm going to look it up.
JP found it. He's finding it.
We're going to have a balderdash.
I like balderdash.
Maybe
Maybe I don't think it's balderdash. JP, are you?
I'm not finding it. Hey, you go on with your word.
Okay.
Okay. 2 words of the day. Funny. that these are the 2 words of the day. First word is from vocabulary.com. It's a boring word. It's a word used against us, but it's a word we're going to need to use. Disinformation.
Oh, that's a lame word.
That's lame.
Yeah.
I'm going to scoot down to Merriam-Webster. Impeccable is the New York Times word of the day. I don't like impeccable. Do you guys like impeccable?
I mean, I should
that
use
better?
it more. It's better. Disinformation reminds me of Hillary Clinton, which is
I think I used.
oh, that might be a good allegedly.
I think I used the word impeccable in one of my second to last column. Actually.
Okay.
I
2
kinda like
words, guys, and you're going to pick these because those were lame, just boring words. One word means the art of writing words with the proper letters according to standard usage. The other word means a place where one may roam freely, a neighborhood or area.
letters.
Orthography.
Okay, so Gen Z does not have very good orthography.
Up top.
Jennings, you need to work on your orthography.
Hey, I have decent orthography
You have decent orthography.
for a Gen Zer, I guess.
Orthography.
Let's 1, 2, 3 say it like we were librarians. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Orthography. It's such a great word.
It's a great word.
No more FRFR.
No more TTFN.
No more BRB.
There's been a couple of times I've been texting y'all fast and not thinking and put like RN or FR, and then I have to be like, no, they hate that. I have to
Grown-ups.
type it out.
Listen, it's fun when your
Listen.
kids are in middle school or high school. But after that, perhaps we all need to work on our orthography and encourage them
Orthography.
that's real and it should be a priority.
By the way, I found the election day word.
Oh, what's the election day word?
Quilling.
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 We're gonna.
The ancient English practice of inebriating voters to gain their support,
I wish,
particularly in the 18th and 19th century.
read that in a British accent, please.
I don't know if I have a good British accent. It may just sound Australian. Is it the ancient English practice of inebriating voters to gain their support, particularly in the 18th
Yeah.
century?
No.
I got to work on my English accent.
Lost.
Lost. Okay, it's an 18th century word.
We shall go quilling today.
We're going quilling,
So
and
it's like,
we're going to ask you to quill with us on election day on May the 19th. And everybody should come with us. And if we could hang a chandelier like they do in Mississippi at the old
Hotty
Miss
Hotty
Totty, we would like to go quilling with you on May 19th.
That was good. That sounded like the Queen from Bridgerton.
you can't imagine if we drank,
It's really
And
good.
did a show while drinking at the poll, like the end of the show, it would be a
Pretty sure that's illegal.
I think it is illegal.
But my vision for
But
the
fun.
day is we set up a tent, we pick a polling place, and we set up a tent, and
Pick mine.
okay, and then we have snacks and drink. We're not there for any one candidate, but I think it would be awesome if we could line candidates up to come by and do like impromptu interviews live.
And see, the
Then we
reason
could interview voters.
because the reason I'm suggesting my polling place is it's close to my house. So if we need to run to the bathroom, we can
That
run
is-
down the street
there's
to the
also-
bathroom.
I bet we could go into the church. Or
We
wherever.
could. It depends on if the same people are in their polling places. One of them's my neighbor, and I could just say, "Hey, we're doing this outside."
Do you really think the church wouldn't let us in?
No, they would let us in as long as we're not candidates. They would let us in.
Oh no! Shoot.
I have PTSD from that day.
Hang on a second. We got one candidate here. Somebody here is on the ballot.
Ooh, she can't be at
Oh.
her polling place.
Oh wait, yeah, I am on the ballot.
Well,
I forgot about
you're
that.
the 2 L's. So you
Yeah,
could
they
get by with-
misspelled my name.
What?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm
That's
running for
uncool.
state executive committee.
Mm.
It's one of the places,
I hope you have more fun at your meetings.
but they misspelled my name. They just did one L.
Welcome to my world.
I noticed it actually. I saw a Shelby County ballot and I was looking all the races and I was like, wait, I know that person. I'm like, wait, they misspelled her name. It's one L. Allison.
Wonder how that affects. So there are 3 people running for that place, and I'm the middle name. And they always say the middle, because nobody ever knows who's running, and usually people just like bubble in the first name or the last name. Apparently, the middle name, is the worst place to be, and they misspelled my name.
Well, that just means you're going to win,
or God doesn't want me to, and
that's just how that goes. That just means you're going to win. So I declare it.
Do you want us to vote for you or no?
Maybe people will be like, I'm voting for the off-brand Allison Sinclair.
JP, we cannot vote for her because she's not in our area. Wait, yes, we can.
Yeah, you're both in Shelby County.
Wait.
I'm actually still registered to vote in Huntsville.
Okay, so you can't vote at all. I don't know if you're going to be on my ballot.
I will.
Are you on
I
the
will.
Greystone polling?
Because it's all Shelby County.
Are you at the firehouse? Is that where you guys poll?
No, but it's Shelby County. The places are irrelevant.
Sweet.
It's just if you're anywhere in Shelby County.
You vote for her.
Yeah, well, yeah.
The meetings are twice a year and they're very interesting.
I've been. I am happy to serve.
I did not enjoy it, but I would enjoy it now. I think we should have little placards in front of our names. Former
right here?
state executive committee member. State executive committee member. Yeah.
Well, no, I mean,
Yeah, we could. When you win.
yeah, but anyway, we'll see how that goes. But can I not go to the polling place? I think you just can't be within a certain amount of feet.
10 feet, 30 feet,
40 feet.
whatever it
We'll
is.
just do it
They
across the
were
street.
very, very specific with me. And I'm like, guys, I'm going in to vote.
I forgot.
You got to take all your stickers off, all the things. Oh, it's very stressful.
be
It was very hot that day.
It'd be a really funny bit if we take like a tape measure and measure out 40 feet.
Oh,
and
they
put the
measure.
tit
Yeah, they
right
do.
there.
They're serious.
My people are dead serious about it.
But I
Anywho.
think we make election day fun with some quilling and snacks.
Hmm.
And I will bring a chandelier
Okay.
and maybe some ribbon.
I'm going to have some extras today if you need one.
You know what?
I got 6.
Extra chandeliers?
Well, they're all getting changed out finally.
Oh, you're so fancy.
No, I'm not. They're old this time.
You got the good airplane seats, fancy chandeliers.
No, I just got the seats that I know that JP's going to have legroom.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
That's such a clutch move.
You're welcome. It's that's the least I can do.
Well, she also, I bet it's just instinct with her husband and her sons. To
Yeah,
get exit
you don't
row.
have
I
a
don't-
choice.
I actually got a Delta lady on the phone. Allison's sick of hearing me tell this story because I've told it before, but I did get a Delta lady on the phone once. And I was like, listen, I need to know which seat has the most cubic square feet. Legit. And I explained to her why I needed to know. And she literally helped me. We stayed on the phone for 10 minutes and then got back on the phone. She was like, always choose the exit row.
Okay.
Or the
How
very
many-
first seat if you're on
Yeah.
American from first class. And even, well, first class usually has plenty of legroom, but that first seat on American, plenty of legroom. So this is a dorky thing, but it's
Now we know.
my lot.
That's
My lot in life.
That's my law.
It's my lot.
I like it a lot.
I like it all.
Oh, no. He says, Chipotle is my life. Remember him?
I
Who says that? Who says
Yeah.
that?
What was his name? Daniel?
Something like that.
No. Chipotle is my life. I really hope Speaker Ledbetter is not watching or listening right now.
Which,
I
by
am
the way,
certain he is.
who are we talking to next segment?
Speaker Ledbetter. Nathaniel Ledbetter. We have so many questions.
Yeah. We hope we can
We're
get
going
them
to try
all in.
and cover a lot. But we will be back with that. And then after we finish with the speaker, we'll get to the montage. And then allegedly,
I'm so excited for allegedly today.
it's kind of a big day. We'll be right back.
Beth Shaver with Allison Sinclair, and we are joined by a dear friend of ours. Her name is Heather Davis, and not only has she become a counselor, not only has she written a Bible study, but she's one of the wisest women I know, and she can tell you about herself. We have so many questions for her. We're not going to get to all of them, but the main point today is how do we deal with a generation of kids that no matter what we do, we seem to be doing it wrong? How do we have hard conversations? How do we broach uncomfortable subjects and not lose our mind doing it? How do we do that? So, welcome.
Hi, thank y'all for having me.
We're so glad you're here.
I'm a little overwhelmed by the honor and the love. So thank you.
Wow, I'm overwhelmed by the fun. Like, I've heard about Heather for years, and she walked in, and I was like, "Oh, she's one of us.
Yeah.
This is going to be awesome."
Yes.
I think y'all are in for a treat because I'm pretty sure it will all be said, like not holding back. So, thank you for being here.
Absolutely, my pleasure.
So, first, real quick, what's your background, and did you ever see yourself doing what you're doing today?
No and yes. My background is I graduated from the University of Alabama at Birmingham in '93. Thought that I was going to be the next physical therapist, but apparently statistics are very important in that role. And so I never got an opportunity. Had worked at ASMI with Lee Mack, Andrews, and Rogers, the gods of orthopedics, and realized that the gods of orthopedics bow down to the God of the universe because he had a plan. He brought me here under the guise of my personal wants and wish list, and he saved me, transformed me, and called me into ministry before I was 25 years old. So it was what I like to call a butt kicking in reality and practical theology. So 25 to almost 40-ish, I was on different church staffs here in Birmingham, always around connection, community, small groups. It had this just innate from the time I was a little girl, ability to hear through the lens of the gospel and love people. And so was counseling before I was ever really into that. Had a horrific marriage, started doing a lot of therapy just to kind of get through what life throws at you. Addictions that, back in the late 1990s, early 2000s, we didn't say the word porn out loud. We didn't say affairs out loud. We didn't say sexual addiction out loud. These type of things were what I was dealing with. And on church staff, that's pretty taboo. So I had been on a staff where they were like, you need to step back and get your house in order. And that really kind of undid me. And the long and short of it is I did a deconstruction of my theology to find out, well, if it's my husband who's sinning and he's the head of the home, how do I get my house in order? And so it really just kind of took the legalism that I had been brought up with. My parents are very good people, very moral. And then I, became Baptist in Birmingham, Alabama. And so I just traded one for the other. And so he really just started to show me what a practical theology was and how do you live out what you honestly believe. So long and short of it, I ended up doing master's program and getting counseling certifications. And now I'm a gospel coach. So my last accreditation is board certified master mental health coach. And I specialize in life recovery, addictions, and neuroscience. I work through the lens of NARM, which is a neuroaffectual relationship model, which basically means the psycho, biological, neurological way that our bodies and brains process. And so it's really kind of cool because that just flows right into theology. Forever, God's been telling us if we renew our mind, we can be transformed. And that's exactly what I get to do with people. So I love it. I know that's pretty heady, but
No, I'm so curious because a lot of people will say psychology, psychiatry is antithetical to the gospel, to theology, to God. But it sounds like you fuse the two. Like God created us, God gave us these mental capacities, He wired us. How do you put science and God together? Because most people want to separate them.
Right. So for me, as a Baptist even, it was very difficult for me to understand the difference between spirit, soul, and my flesh. Okay. And so it took me a long time to get the understanding that, my flesh is the part that has its own proclivity.
Welcome back. I am Amy Beth Shaver with Allison Sinclair and JP. We are the right side, you have found the right place, most especially if you're tuning in for our next interview. We would like to welcome Alabama's Speaker of the House, Nathaniel Ledbetter. Good morning, sir. How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing today?
We are doing well. Hey, how are your grandkids?
Oh, they're doing good. We have made it to the state playoffs, so we'll play Randolph and Huntsville Friday night. So they just won the county championship in baseball. So we've got to see a little bit of baseball since we've been out of session, and very proud of what they're accomplishing, not only on and off the field as well.
Congratulations.
How
That's
about
exciting.
yours?
You know what? They are great. My 3-year-old granddaughter was practicing taking her mom's order for food at a restaurant. So that's what they're up to and watching their
That's pretty
daddy mow
neat.
the grass. But
Yeah.
they're the best days.
Yes, absolutely. They go by too fast, I'll tell you.
Yeah, they really do.
Y'all and your grandkids.
Well, they're
someday.
oh my word, they rip your heart out. You can't even.
They're so cute.
They're so cute. But then when they get to his grandkids' age, where you get to go watch sports and then they win. Oh,
Didn't you go
great.
to Randolph?
That was my middle school in Huntsville.
There you go. Okay.
this is wonderful. So,
So
okay.
you won't be pulling for us, then, will you?
Yeah, I will. Yeah. I didn't
Okay,
graduate.
yeah,
I didn't graduate a Raider, so we're good.
Okay, thank you.
So, I guess that's how your first week of summer break has been. Is there anything else? Just moving into, we got a lot of questions for you this morning, but we trust we'll get through all of them. What
Sure.
do you look forward to doing the most after session ends? Is it watching baseball?
Well, it is. It is right now. I mean, it's certainly spending time with the family and the grandkids. I think everybody that knows us knows how important that is to us. And I think probably in the long haul, that's why we've been involved as long as we have in government, to try to make things better for them and for other grandparents and kids that grow up in the state. So, yeah, I mean, that's a big part of what we do, and certainly enjoy time spent together and time we get to spend with them. So I know, any day you miss is one day you can't make up. So we always try to be there as much as we possibly can. So that's a big part of it.
Well, speaking of future and grandkids and children, again, I think that's probably why we're involved as well. But this session, this quadrennium actually, and this session specifically, it feels like there was a ton of actually conservative, really good bills passed. I'm curious, looking back over the quadrennium, though, what are your top, most proud of accomplishments that the legislature took care of and handled this quadrennium?
If I were to say my most proud, it's got to be the tax cuts. I mean, never before has Alabamians seen the tune of $1.5 billion cut in taxes. I mean, that's one of them. The other thing I think really is elevation in education. With the Choose Act being full bore now, and the Literacy and Numeracy Act being passed, Alabama's numbers have moved over 20 points in both reading and arithmetic. I think that's a big deal. I think it's a game changer. The growth we've had to our economy. I mean, over 100,000 jobs and $6 billion invested in Alabama, making Alabama one of the top 10 states to do business in. So, I mean, we've got a lot to really be proud of. The members have really done a great job, and by far, if you look at the past history, this quadrennium has been the most conservative quadrennium in state's history, and a lot of that you've seen in this session, whether it's the 10 Commandments bill or if it's the right to religious release bill, and certainly those are things that we're proud of, and proud of our members for working them hard and getting them across the finish line.
So you just mentioned education, and this session was big for putting God back in Alabama's classrooms. To borrow a quote from Teddy Roosevelt, to educate a person in mind and not morals is to educate a menace to society. And so we're grateful for what you've done. But what do you say to those who were critical of the 10 Commandments in schools or the off-campus Bible class bills and any of the other conservative bills passed?
Right. Well, I think that's a great point. The thing about it is both of those bills, as you know, you can participate or not. And, when I was a member, I passed the Pledge of Allegiance bill and also passed if you remember, the Bible bill, which gave the opportunity to to study the Bible in high school. And, I did it because I felt like that the kids, listen, when I was in school, I feel like that because the simple thing of doing the pledge and the prayer every morning before we started school, it was something I think gave us a roadmap of how to be a good person. And I don't think things have changed. I think we've gotten away from it, unfortunately. But I think it's important that we continue to try to bring that back.
The closed primary bill was a huge discussion this session, which is funny because it's been in the news and really talked about heavily for the past probably 4 years from the party on just grassroots, talking about if that is a solution for a lot of the crossover vote and what we're seeing. The House passed it, you co-sponsored the bill, and it died in the Senate. What happened there, and what do you see happening moving forward?
Yeah, I think, of course, we moved the bill out of the House fairly quickly, if you remember. And not only did I co-sponsor it as Speaker, I get the first pick on the calendar, and that's where I put it. Now, I felt like, we had made good strides in it and trying to get it across the finish line. The Senate had it for about 3 weeks. And, I think they put it on the last day. The problem with putting a bill on the last day is the changes that comes. You never know what it's going to be. Is it going to mess it up? Is it going to cause problems? Is it going to make our members go into a bad vote? Because I think most of our members want to see that happen, but they want to make sure they did it in the right way. I do think there were a lot of talk about different amendments or substitutes, and I don't know how that would have went. But the thing about it was we got it out. And we had, I guess we put it in on Thursday, had the meeting. No, put it on Thursday, had the meeting for a committee on Tuesday, which our committee meetings are on Wednesday. I asked them to go ahead and have one. And then they had another one Thursday to get it voted out. So had it on the floor and just in a pretty quick time. And I thought that would give the Senate plenty of time to do something with it. It didn't happen. So we'll come back next year. There's been some talk about different ways of doing it. I think Oklahoma's got a piece of legislation that the chairman has talked to me about. So we'll certainly continue to work on that.
Let's talk about Montgomery, specifically public safety legislation. We probably all have family and friends who live there, but the police staffing bill fell short on the last day of session. Can you help us understand how and why that happened?
Yeah, I can. First of all, I think it's important to note that, my staff and the governor's staff is one that put the crime package bills together last year. We're the ones that started the conversation. The governor had come to visit me in my hometown. We had lunch, and she asked me, said, what do we need to do this session? And I told her, with all the growth we've had in the state, if we don't do something about crime, that's going to stop. So, out of that come probably 7 or 8 bills that we passed, Back in the Blue being one of them, law enforcement dependent scholarship, which we didn't pass last year. But we finally got it across the finish line this year. We did the Officer Impersonation Prevention Act. A lot of those that had, of course, Anna's law made a constitutional amendment. So, we did a lot of that prior to the MAC unit being one of them, which has been very successful there in Montgomery. We funded that. Not only did we fund it, we went back and made it full time. So not only could we use it there in Montgomery, we could use it in Birmingham, Mobile, or Huntsville, or any part of the state that needed it. So we certainly have made strides. With behind that, I think Birmingham has employed over 200 new officers. Montgomery right at 100 new officers. The problem with that particular bill was it was going to be debated at length. I knew that going in. But also, what most people don't know, that was not going to be the bill that passed because there had been a substitute. The issue was that the Huntsville, Madison County people did not like that they were put into that same fray. And because of that, there was a substitute coming by our general fund chairman, which used to be the chief of police in Huntsville, that kind of pretty much made it a resolution more than a statute. So I think that was, it's one of those things where you've seen it was going to be debated, probably have to go to conference committee, probably being debated a couple hours, in conference a couple hours. I didn't know that there'd been enough time to get it out.
Last day of session,
last day of session. If you remember, we did the Back the Blue last year on the last day of session. and got it out with 15 minutes to go. And to me, that's probably the most impactful piece of legislation that we've done for law enforcement in Alabama. Not only that, we've had other states copy it. So I think that is a form of flattery. And I think this one we passed with the scholarships was a big deal for me. I asked what used to be the assistant chief, Alan Treadway, to carry it, and we didn't get across the finish line last year, come back with it this year, and finally at the very end of the session got it across. But with all this, we had an ad hoc committee that we put together with some very knowledgeable people in law enforcement and put these bills together. And certainly I think that bill has merit. I know Coach Turville has talked about it quite a bit. Whatever he wants to do, I'll support and try and help him with that. But to have it on the very last day and then have a substitute that's going to be offered. And to be honest with you, if you have a substitute offered by the general fund chairman that once was the chief of police in Huntsville, it's probably going to pass. So it I think there's a lot of stuff that goes on behind the scenes people don't know about. Right. And it's easy to be an armchair quarterback when you don't know what play is being called.
Yeah. We talk about that often. It's hard to be on this side and not privy to a lot of those conversations where you're only left with kind of what you see and what you know and what you hear. So that's very helpful because I know people were concerned about that and they're concerned about Montgomery. Another thing that's in the news a lot is this out-of-state gambling pack that is funneling money into the state of Alabama. Now, we talk all the time. It's not illegal to take gambling money. It's not illegal for PACs to be operating within the state. That my question is, how much do those PACs and that money that's coming out, how much do they actually influence votes in the legislature? And is that what we should be paying attention to? Or should we be paying attention to, if they've been in office historically, what their votes have been? Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think it does make sense. It's a great question. I think that what you pay attention to is what to do at home. I tell my members all the time, there's not a vote you take in Montgomery is going to beat you. What's going to beat you if you don't do your work at home? Man, I think most of them do a really good job. The BCA had done a poll before we started this session. I've never seen Alabama's legislator rank. I think their approval rating was 68%. I've never seen it that high. But I think it's got a lot to do with what we talked about earlier. What's happened in the last quadrennium certainly is important. And that's what people are going to vote on. How do they know you in the community? Are you a part of the civic club? Do you go to church with them? Do your kids play softball together? They know you or they wouldn't have voted for you to begin with. A lot of the negative stuff that comes out, people know you. So, for the most part, they're going to support who they know and who they think is going to do a good job. And a lot of our members, and I've told them this time, they've got enough to run on this after this last quadrennium without question. So, I don't pay a lot of attention to that. I know there has been some. I've seen the write-ups and certainly see it coming in the U.S. Senate race. I see it quite a bit of millions and millions and millions of dollars in that race from out-of-state groups too. So I guess, and I think us as Alabamians would rather it be just Alabamians making the decisions, but this looks like that's money comes from all over.
That's why I always encourage people, just ask your legislator what they think about these issues. And it takes away some of the power from these PACs and big money groups that are coming in.
That's absolutely. Thank you for that. And that's a great point. And we do the same thing. I think, getting engaged with your representation is a good deal. Because a lot of legislation I've passed when I was a member come from my constituents. We did a lot of it. The Pledge of Allegiance bill that I passed comes from my granddaughter. I asked her to come and do it in the State House, and she didn't know it. And I'm thinking, she's smart. She plays the piano at church. Why does she not know the Pledge of Allegiance? They said, well, they don't do it at school. And I said, well, they're going to, because we're going to pass a bill. We did. We passed the bill, made it law in public schools. They had to do the pledge. Of course, like you said earlier, we had blowback on that. And my thing was then, they don't have to do it if they don't want to do it, but we're going to do it every morning in the schools.
Do you ever remember, and I don't know, because we were still saying the pledge and prayer every morning when I was in elementary school, and that maybe ended in middle school. But you were super cool if you got asked. I never got asked to say the pledge, but that was a big deal if you got to go to the office and do the pledge that morning. I think it's a rite of passage. We bring
It is a rite of passage. I'm so glad that you did that. Question. What Representative Stringer says that there's a possibility of a special session. What do you think about that?
Representative who?
Stringer.
I missed that. I'm sorry.
It's
Stringer.
okay.
He made
Stringer.
a comment that there may be a special session before November on gambling. Any thoughts on that?
I hadn't heard anything about that. That's the first I've heard about it. So it's hard for me to have any thoughts on something I don't know anything
Well,
about.
that answers our question.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
There you go, everybody.
You did
Yeah.
mention the tax cuts. I'm curious. Coach Tuberville was on our program last week, and he said he's all for cutting the state income tax if you can bring in businesses. And I'm guessing along with that, you got to start cutting some of the budgets and maybe saving some. But what are your thoughts on state income tax and possibly getting rid of it?
Yeah, I mean, I'm for it. I mean, I think we can do some of it. The problem we got with the income tax is that it actually is 7% of the funding for education. So, I mean, you can't cut education completely out. I think, and he and I have talked about that some. I think there are some ways to do it. You know, Alabama's one of the only states that allows deduction on federal taxes. So, I mean, that's a constitutional amendment. Some of the only problem with some of the structure that we've got in Alabama, it is constitutional amendment, which people voted on, and they'd have to vote to redo it. Now, I'm for it. I mean, I'm for looking at ways to reduce it. I mean, you know, I'm the speaker that helped through the body cut $1.5 billion. I mean, I certainly support Coach and support his efforts. And if there's anything we could do to try to work through it, I think our first approach, and you know, we had cut the grocery tax in half. We were able to do that because of growth. You know, we talked about the 100,000 jobs, the $60 billion that we brought into the state. That's by growth. That's how we've been able to cut the taxes, because our economy is growing because of jobs being brought in and the commerce growing. So I think there is a possibility to continue to do that. Certainly with what we've got going on with the announcement of Eli Lilly in Huntsville, and with the submarines and muscle shows, and now in Mobile and all across the state, we're seeing that. The last I looked with Commerce, which is kind of interesting, but the last time I looked at Commerce, we had 223 companies on the board looking to come to Alabama.
Wow.
So I think Eli Lilly will be what Mercedes was to Alabama. I think we're going to see the same kind of impact on the medical side. Certainly, you know, was the Space Command coming to Birmingham, Fannie Mae and Mac coming, to Huntsville, and Fannie Mae and Fannie Mac coming to Birmingham. The things that's going on in our state's unbelievable right now. I mean, we're growing at a pace none of us has ever seen in our lifetimes. So I do think there's possibility with that growth we can reduce taxes. I think the lowest hanging fruit, in my opinion, is the grocery tax. I mean, we've already cut it in half. We give a tax holiday because of what's going on with inflation. And I think when Coach comes in, there's a very good chance we can do away with that. And we certainly can look at the income tax and see how we can manage that.
So you're right. There's a lot to get excited about in Alabama. So what would you say is next? What are the things that you're looking forward to working on in next year's session?
Well, let me say, certainly Senator Barfoot had his bill. We'll certainly be looking at that. And I think if we can get everybody together, he helped pass some of our crime package. I think he does a great job. We certainly will be looking back at that and seeing what can be the most effective. I think everybody's got to be on the same page. I think the other thing is working with Coach and looking, seeing what we can consolidate and what we can cut and try to make us as trim as possible. And I think this is something that we've done and will continue to do. So those are the couple, the one thing I do believe that we have a chance is to continue to grow our education system. One bill that kind of flew under the radar, a lot of times I don't particularly carry bills, but I have bills drafted and other people carry them. But one of them that we had passed right at the very end of the session, I think is going to be impactful for our four-year colleges. And this is one that we had asked to put together. And Stubbs carried it for us. He does a great job. He was on EPF. I thought he'd be a great candidate. But it gives the college and we had almost lost, the board and president had almost lost the ability to do any kind of curriculum, to have any kind of say-so because of accreditations. Mm-hmm. So that bill flew under the radar. But I think it's going to be hugely impactful. And I do believe that going forward, education is going to be a primary goal to try to continue to grow and try to make sure that we have the best that we can offer. And I believe we're on that trajectory, but we got to continue working that. Jobs, we've got to continue to grow good paying jobs, not just jobs, but good paying jobs where kids can have a living for the rest of their lives. And we certainly worked on the career tech centers to give them that opportunity. We got to continue to work on that. We certainly have been engaged in mental health. I think we've got to continue to work on that to try to, it's a puzzle. It's hard to put all the pieces together. There's things that has worked, and there's things that hadn't worked. And I think you got to reevaluate those and try to figure out what's the best path. So even though we've had a lot of success, we've got a lot going on, and we got to continue to try to push the ball down the field.
I want to thank you, first of all. You've spent almost 20 minutes with us and we have covered a lot. So thank you so much for that. But before I let you go, I have to ask this because I've asked this of several people and nobody can tell me why. So I'm just going straight to you.
Yeah.
How did you get the nickname Banjo?
Yeah, I get that question a lot, and I just tell people it's a long story.
Can you play the banjo? Because that'd be really cool.
Absolutely not. I can't get it. It's hard for me to get a song on the radio, much less play an instrument. So
there's no answer. Funny, okay. Fine.
Well, it's a long story, but it's kind of funny. Coach spent a lot of time with us when he ran for the U.S. Senate. We co-chaired his campaign. He stayed here in our pool house quite a bit, and some of my buddies had come over. We have a group of friends I grew up with, and they'll come over probably once a month just for a cookout. We just have a good time and enjoy each other's company. And he was here a couple of those times we did it. And they all call me Banjo. They always have. That's what I grew up being known as. So he started calling me that. And we were at a meeting. I wasn't really paying. He was talking about coming in, being governor, and I'm sitting there listening. And he said, one of my friends that I've known for a long time is Banjo. And everybody just kind of looked around the room and thought, who is he talking about? So,
well,
anyway.
Everybody now knows it's you. We still don't know why, but sometimes those are the best ways. Just leave it. It's a mystery. Thank you so much for being with us today. This is great. Really appreciate it.
Thank y'all. I've enjoyed it. See, the thing about it is, too, I didn't tell you, so maybe you'll invite me back, right?
Yes. There's
intrigue
and mystery and even possibility of setting up next year's tour in the new state house and perhaps golfing. Okay. Yeah. So we got a lot. We got a lot of things. Okay.
I'm in. Sounds good.
Golf cart karaoke with a speaker. It's going to happen. We're going to do it. Thank you so much. Have a great day. I don't know what your grandson's team is, but go Speaker's grandson's team.
We hope they win.
The Plainview Bears.
All right, go Bears.
Go Bears.
Go Bears. There you go. That's it. That's right.
Have a great day. Thank you.
Okay, then.
We covered so much.
Allison,
that was awesome.
All the questions. Like I thought when I looked at all your really good questions, there was no way we're getting through. And then I thought, wait a minute, he's a pro. Yeah. He's going to get through them. And he did. He just mowed them right down.
Yep.
Just
really good.
Like the grass in the outfield, just took it down.
Still don't know why he's called Banjo.
But what a fun nickname.
But I kind of like that. We all have those stories that we're like, yeah, I can't really tell you, but it's a story.
Totally the answer.
He said high school. I don't want to tell my high school stories either.
He's such a pro. He already knows radio theater. Well, you have to invite me back and I'll tell you next time. It's genius.
Well played. It's like you've done this before.
We will have to take a quick break. I can't believe we did that whole segment. Okay. Flew by. Quick break. Montage. Allegedly. We'll be back.
Own predisposition towards typical types of sin. That's my flesh. That's the part of me that makes me human. Then there's the spirit, which is I was made in the image of God. I'm an image bearer. We're all image bearers, and it's unique in each one of us. That's why we're all so valuable to the kingdom. And then there's this soul. This is the part was so elusive for me. It was just kind of like a mirage. Like, how do I grasp it? And the best way I've figured out how to hold on to it is it's a 3-part. It's your mind, your will, and your emotions. And so your mind definitely includes your brain, but it's more than just your brain. You've got your subconscious and your conscious. So the things that I say are biblical truths. The things I believe about myself, that mental tape, that's the subconscious. That's your mind. That's the part that's got to be transformed. Then you've got your will, which is, your disciplines and the things that each of us have or do not have. I kind of lack will when it comes to bread, Diet Coke, French fries, ice cream. I mean, there's a list, but my will is very low on those. And then there's your emotions. Well, your emotional state is definitely important, but I was not taught that way. I was brought up in a military, medical, Italian family. Emotions were not things we talked about. You were sent from the table till you could get it in order and come back, dry your face up. So the emotions, that's part of it. Well, what we've got right now is a generation that's led by their emotions. Then you've got, our generation, Gen X, which is totally led by will.
Yes.
Yeah.
We will do what we're going to do because we know. And so those two generations are really clashing. And then you've got the generation that's the mind, and these are facts, and that would be your baby boomers. And so that's where these generations are really struggling, is the way we see soul is so different that we're having trouble determining how do we even communicate about it, and even more so, how do we love these kids and give them the safety and security that they need, because we're the adults and we've been there. And we know what it was like to be raised by people who didn't value emotion and they didn't value will. They only valued trust or truth and achievement. And so we're in that precipice where they all meet, and it's kind of like the rubber meets the road, and we're dealing with it because these kids are not believing what we believe.
Not at all. And is that why? That's just so interesting, that clash of civilization, really. But is that why you mentioned a minute ago, the kids today seem to be so led by their emotion? It doesn't matter what logic you present. It doesn't matter. I mean, even going so far, and you and I have talked about this, where some people will say, well, what is truth? As if it's this nuanced thing that we can create rather than a concrete, no, truth is. Right. We rotate around the truth.
My truth,
and
your truth.
Yeah. Can you talk to us about that? I mean, why?
We talk about the postmodern world, like that's where we're at postmodern. And so relativism is incredibly real. I just had a conversation with my oldest child who's 26 and in law school. And she asked me specifically, are you okay with the unkind treatment to people who are not citizens of our country? And I was like, help me understand what unkind is. And she goes, Mama, you got your therapy hat on. And I was like, well, I need to understand your terms, because that's where we're at. Her version of unkind is an experiential unkind. For me, clear is kind. Unclear is unkind. Kindness means I would extend something to you that you have not earned. It's a gift. Kindness is a gift. And she was like, well, I don't think kindness is that way. It's an attribute. And I was like, okay, that's where we're at. We have to define terms with this generation, because theirs is an experiential, emotional thing. Kindness is a character trait. You can't give what you don't have. And so for her, she really struggles, and she's typical. She's a millennial. She is very typical of, if you're not kind and you don't do it the right way, you're wrong. I'm like, where's the grace in that? But they don't have grace because they don't understand it.
Is this across the board? Like, I don't know if there's a little chat group of all the NARM therapists out there. But I'm curious if it's more pervasive in the South, just the Southern culture. No, it's everywhere.
It's everywhere. NARM, the model that I use, is worldwide, and it's kind of ironic, but when we do our Zooms, when you do your trainings, you're on Zooms, there'll be people from all over the world, and they'll say, Heather, and then it'll say he, she, it, whatever your pronouns are, and we'll have people from, one was from China, one was from Scotland, my favorite accent. And she was saying, what is this she, her thing? She was like, and we had to explain, in America, you have to say your pronouns. And the woman was like, what? You are who you are. But in
wow.
America, it's up for debate. But in other countries, that's not even an issue. They don't deal with it. And so we're kind of in that place where we're making up things.
Yes.
To be upset about, to be offended by, or to draw a line.
And hello.
Sorry.
We're with you for another hour, and we're so glad you are here. Would love to hear from you here at the top of the hour before we jump into the montage and hear your thoughts about our interview with Speaker Ledbetter, or just your thoughts in general. And then remember, we switched our word of the day. Okay.
Impeccable?
We decided that impeccable was lame.
There was somethingography.
It was orthography. So we got to work not only on saying the Pledge of Allegiance and teaching it to our children, which is the reason Speaker Ledbetter did the bill with this. We got to work on that.
That is really sad.
Patriotism, A, and B. We also want to work on our children's orthography, not ornithology, the study of birds. Orthography, the correct usage of language.
Basically an ornithologist. Is that what it's
You're an orthodontist.
You're
That's exactly what I am. Exactly. Before we hit the montage, I thought that was, I just still can't believe all that we just covered. It's just,
We're professional journalists who are about to go on a business trip. It's official.
Well, it's good questions. And I learned a lot. It's fun to learn. There you are. Okay. JP, what do we have by way of text, sir?
We got a text actually from Brad from Crimestone about the interview. It's actually talking about the Pledge of Allegiance. He says, y'all may find this to be incongruous, given what you know about me, but I'm not in favor of saying the Pledge of Allegiance. Francis Bellamy was a progressive, and factually speaking, it's simply untrue that we are, quote, one nation, quote, indivisible. Oh my gosh. The libertarian, sorry. In spite of the outcome of Lincoln's war to centralize of power in D.C., it is the right of sovereign states to leave voluntarily a union that they voluntarily joined for whatever reason. So anyways, that's a whole nother conversation.
Wait, we might have to revisit that because I need to learn those things.
It's a whole Civil War discussion. It's like technically he's correct, but it's a whole conversation. But I am in favor of the Pledge of Allegiance regardless.
I'm in favor of it as simply a reminder. If that's the only way we get God in public school classrooms, then that's the way we get him in as a reminder of who we are. Like just as a reminder. Like a fight song. If you want to take it and you're a libertarian, take it as a fight song. But I do think it's okay to say the pledge. But I also want to revisit that and check into.
I don't know anything he's talking about. I think Brad knows too much.
Well,
it's got to be frustrating to be Brad.
Let's call
everybody
him the
else
professor.
is so stupid.
Here's the second half. He's actually correct. I agree with him in the second half of this text. And nation, quote, nation includes more than borders and a flag. It has to do with the kith and kin, community with common beliefs and traditions. Different states have different beliefs and traditions. They are different peoples. So if you want to propagandize your children into being devoted to central state that crushes cultural differences between the states, then you make them say the Pledge of Allegiance. I don't care to do that to my children because I like Alabama's culture over Mordor's. I mean, DC's.
I agree with that.
Okay.
So
can you write that down on your little yellow notepad and as maybe a plunge one day?
That's a good plunge.
Yeah, it's good.
I've got a podcast for us to listen to that talks about that very thing by George Grant.
We can do that on our business trip.
We can. I'm going to get y'all to sign up for the Canon Plus app because the history on there is unbelievable. Anyway, thank you, Professor Brad from Crimestone County.
John from Minor
Hey,
says,
John.
the Pledge of Allegiance is important to any patriots of our nation. They aren't teaching it for a reason.
Well, that's a point too.
To make you feel, to give some reassurance, I did have the Pledge of Allegiance said every day from kindergarten until high school. So
Same.
some schools did it.
Really?
Yeah. My public school, I went to public school up until 5th grade, and we did it every morning. It was
Who
like what
said
you
it?
said.
Did kids?
Yes.
See, did you ever get asked?
Yeah, I
Oh,
think I got to do it like once or twice, but it was a
You
big
were
deal
cool.
because you would hear like somebody from like your homeroom like doing the thing,
Mm.
and it was like the really old speaker with like the you coming in and saying the Pledge of Allegiance. But yeah, we did it every day. And then when I went to Christian high school, we did the prayer and the pledge. So.
Did you do the pledge to the Christian flag
Mm-mm.
and
Oh.
the Bible, which is a little different? Yeah,
We had
we're
our
up doing that.
my redneck high school baseball coach, who was actually also our principal, said it every morning of "Good morning, guys. Please bow your heads as we say this prayer." And I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America.
I love it. Clutus, wait just a
Sounds
few
like
minutes.
Clutus.
Hang on, Clutus. Well, that's a great discussion, and we will plunge that. How about let's just say we're going to plunge it next week? There's enough time between now and then. So, the professor, get yourself ready. Okay, now it is finally time for some news.
Vital News.
I've been the only Democrat that has supported Epic Fury. And now we're 48 days into it, and none of this has been illegal. Every single president in those 47 years have effectively dealt with the Iranian nuclear problem.
Apple CEO Tim Cook is stepping down from the position that he inherited from the late Steve Jobs while remaining involved in the company as executive chairman.
And by the way, is the president expecting to pay back $168 billion in tariff revenue post the Supreme Court decision?
I think that's the thing that Jameson Greer is studying very carefully. There's alternative authorities that perhaps could reduce that number quite a bit, but it's a work in progress.
Capital has seen a sharp decrease in crime as the nation gets ready to celebrate its 250th birthday, much of those festivities right here in the nation's capital. Let's go straight to the numbers. Over the past year, there's been a 52% decrease in homicide, 23% decrease in robbery, 56% decrease in motor vehicle theft, 21% decrease in burglary, all crime down 25%.
This story just into our newsroom this morning. A Los Angeles woman arrested for trafficking arms on behalf of the Iranian government.
According to the FBI's Iran counterintelligence squad, Mafi is accused of selling Iranian-manufactured bombs, drones, assault weapons, and millions of rounds of ammunition to Sudan.
Oh,
I'm so confused.
That's okay.
How do you sell bombs and drones from Iran to Saudi Arabia
to Sudan
while living in LA?
She's very well connected.
I don't know. I'd have to go and find all the
That's
details.
a movie.
Yeah. See if you can find detail. You like FedEx them? Like how are you getting them there?
I think there's
Camel?
There's a middleman. Yeah, probably by camel.
Well, where's she from?
She was in
Iranian.
Well, here. Yeah, I'll pull up. Here's an article from.
I need details.
Says she's an Iranian woman living a life of luxury, which is also quite ironic.
This is from the BBC. She is Iranian. Shamim Mafi, 44, who has an American green card, was arrested for brokering the sale of bombs, drones, bomb fuses.
She's just the broker. She's not the mule.
Yeah, the alleged sales were to Sudan's defense ministry, including a $70 million drone contract. She's accused of breaching U.S. sanctions against Iran. Let's see if I can find details on. She submitted a letter of intent to Iran's Islamic, so the IRGC, to broker the sale of 55,000 bomb fuses to Sudan's defense ministry, according to Isali Mafi. Or Isali, I don't know who that is. It said this lady is an Iranian national who became a lawful permanent resident of the United States in 2016.
Oh, okay. So I was about to ask if that was actually illegal, but she's a resident of the United States.
So this was their way of evading U.S. sanctions. Iran's way of evading U.S. sanctions.
Pretty smart.
Huh.
It's like the movie War Dogs. Y'all seen that?
No.
With,
Chris has.
Jonah Hill and who's the other guy's name?
Have I seen that movie?
It's a great movie.
Yeah.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
I was thinking Wag the Dog, but that's a different movie. Okay. Huh. Well,
all right.
Then what's going to happen to her?
she just got arrested.
Straight to jail.
There was a
You will surely die.
there was a sentence of how many years she's facing in the rest of that video. I can't remember.
I hope it's a while.
Well, why don't you just revoke her? Yeah, don't let her be a resident anymore, and then maybe send her back.
If convicted, she's facing a maximum of 20 years in federal prison.
That's it.
That was my my response. That's it.
That's no good. That needs to be much longer. Okay. Well, along the same, well, there's really not along the same lines, but what do you guys want to do? You want to do the tariffs, because it made me look up tariffs from the past. Do you really think that tariff funds will be repaid?
They have to, unfortunately. But here's the annoying part. It's going to the companies. So not even to the consumers. So, which I'm extremely pro tariffs. I wish that the Trump administration would have done their due diligence of crossing their T's, dotting their I's, so that this wouldn't have happened. Because now that SCOTUS has ruled, it's like, well, what can you really do? But if we're gonna refund it, it's like, okay, at least refund it to the people, like to us. If you're gonna blunder it, at least refund it to the consumers who had to pay extra. But now it's going to the companies. So now the American people are getting double screwed, because the tariffs failed, which crushes American manufacturing and American like the long-term view of America just as a whole, if we're offshoring everything to foreign countries. So you have that, and then on top of it, you don't get the refund yourself. The companies get the refund. So it's like a double whammy.
Which was really behind the whole income tax in the first place. It was for the rich. It was under the ruse of pay their fair share, but it made me go look up the whole history of tariffs. And it was quick. But y'all know, Brad knows, you probably already knew this. I didn't know this. I'd heard about it. That there was no federal income tax till about 1913. It was all tariffs. Yep. The only president ever to pay off debt. Do y'all know who that was?
Is it one of my favorite ones?
I think it could.
I was going to say Calvin Coolidge. I don't know if it was him.
It was, if I give you initials, AJ. It was Andrew Jackson.
What?
Wow.
That's way far back.
I was thinking.
It's way far back. Exactly. Wow. Way far back. America raised, before the war, $50 million off tariffs. The middle class was expansive. It was growing. They were wealthy. In 1895, the Supremes, that'd be the Supreme Court, ruled that the income tax was unconstitutional. So they kept the tariffs. And then they switched to 1913 to the income tax system. So there was nobody wanted it. And then they used it to say, well, you got to pay your fair share. And then what happens? We get screwed and the rich benefit. They always do. And there's nothing wrong with being wealthy. But here in this situation with the tariffs, when I saw that the people aren't getting paid back, the companies are, this is one of the reasons why leftists claim that the rich just get richer, because they do. It's just this time it's in the form of a company. So we need to revisit the whole tax structure, period. And I know there's been talk of it, but really, isn't that what Trump's after, you guys? Is tariffs over income tax? I mean, isn't that? And so that's one area where a lot of people go, I get that. That makes sense. And it's one area where the Supremes go, yeah, I'm gonna come against you in this. And it benefits the really, really rich and not the rest of us.
This is where I have to catch myself, y'all, because my brain goes to weird places in 2026. It feels a little icky, and I don't think this is it, but it's almost like a money laundering scheme.
Tell me what you mean.
Well, who paid the extra costs? The American people. It goes to the government, and who's getting it back? All the government's besties.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
The CEOs, the corporations, all the businesses. I don't think that was it, but it feels kind of gross.
Right. I completely see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Like I said, I don't think that is it, but
It's not a good look.
one could go there.
Not a good look. You're right. It is icky because, again, if you looked into the people who are celebrating that they're going to be able to go get some of the tariff money back, crushing manufacturing, it also may be people who just hate Trump. So I don't know. I think money laundering makes the most sense. It does, actually.
It sounds crazy, but we shouldered the brunt of that as the average American citizen and what we paid. And now it's just being funneled right back to our rulers.
I just think the Trump administration was a little sloppy when it comes to this, because with the 10% blanket tariffs, even though I'm for it, the reasoning for such tariffs, said tariffs, I don't know the exact wording legally, but it was essentially saying we're in a national emergency. We are so dependent on everybody globally, and our trade deficits are so bad that we have to invoke these tariffs and start to build American manufacturing, which, like I said, I agree with, but legally speaking, that's kind of flimsy. And I just really wish that they would have spent a little bit more time to really make sure that they had the legal backing to do it. But like I said, it's our nation's identity has just been completely to everybody else. We're like a shell company. Sorry, I probably should have used a better sound effect, but that's the only thing I could think of. We've become like a shell company for everybody, and we just consume, and we're so gluttonous, and we're not our nation's identity. We're not making anything. We don't have any strong, sorry. It's true though. And I wish they would have just legally done their homework so that this wouldn't have been revoked, because now, like I said, the consumer gets a double. Was my sound effect too much?
No, you know what? This is how my brain works. You did that, and I thought of the lazy river. Great wolf lodge. Don't get in. Okay, sorry.
That's funny.
Serious stuff.
Serious.
But also, I'll say this: when we had our tariffs, our size of government was like a fraction of what it is now. So we could afford to have exclusive tariffs. But when the income tax was introduced, and we can just tax and grow and grow and grow. So you can't do tariffs without also cutting the government, which is what Doge was supposed to be. Doge failed. Now tariffs failed. And it's like, it's kind of deflating.
It is deflating, and it is a way for people who are not for Trump's success. This is one of the ways where we feel it the most. So it'll be interesting to see what happens from here, but what a total buzzkill. So
I will say, on a positive note, the DC National Guard numbers.
Incredible.
I wish governors of states that actually need their crime taken down would look at that and stop bucking the system and refusing National Guard.
I grabbed those stats because they're almost they're hard to believe they were so good.
I mean, all crime down by 25%.
That's crazy. Homicide down 52%.
Yeah.
Theft was down 56%, motor vehicle theft.
Which was a huge, I would say is because friends that live in DC, windows would be smashed just for fun. Carjackings just for fun. That car theft, that was a huge one.
Robbery down 23%, burglary down 21%. And then, like Allison said, all crime down 25%. I don't know why anybody would say no to that. Again, because you need to disrupt the success for Trump. But the things that people are trying to disrupt are the things we need the most. Safe cities, which is the purpose of our government, is to protect the citizens, defend our borders, but also the whole tariff situation. But these numbers, like this guy, M.A. Rothman, staggering numbers.
Yeah. And this is actually the conversation we had earlier with Brad about states versus one union. okay, you can make the argument we're each just our own state, but it's like, yeah, Illinois can just have literal wars, gang wars taking place in Chicago, and American citizens suffer, and the same in Portland and everywhere else. It's like there needs to be a point where the adult says, you're not just going to let this happen. We're going to send the National Guard in to enforce the law if you're not going to do it yourself. And that's the part where I wish we were able to do that. In terms of, like what we did in DC. Imagine if we did that in Chicago and Portland, we would have like our nation would change night and day. It is a little difficult. You have to jump through hoops and ladders legally to do that, and the governors have to accept it. But it's like, if you look at those numbers, why wouldn't you want that in your own state? Except Trump bad. They don't want Trump to take the credit for doing what they can't do.
I'm all for states' rights, and I don't know if I agree with Brad. I'm going to have to, when we plunge into that, but it's kind of, I can't remember who said it on the show the other day, but they were talking about that they're okay with gambling or casinos, but they just don't want it in their city or their town in Alabama. And I'm like, that crime doesn't just stay in that one little area that you're willing to sacrifice and go to hell. So it's like, that crime in Chicago and Portland, whatever, doesn't just stay there. And we all have to kind of suffer. And we watch, I mean, even in Shelby County, what happens in Birmingham, it started trickling down. I mean, it's very different here. And so for us not to be able to do that is, I think, a battle that is worth taking up at some point. But how do you balance that? I get that. I'm all for, and I don't know what they're going to do. I mean, you look at DC, I wouldn't think that Montgomery's that far off with a lot of the crimes and statistics, and even Birmingham. Holy cow. We talk about Montgomery all the time.
Birmingham, y'all know this. My son's car was stolen twice. So, twice.
Sounds like a joke.
In 36 days.
Crazy.
Twice. So, it is not a joke, and this is one of those areas where we need to insist, because can you imagine the people who are in change right now, and I mean that by crime, who can't go out at night, who are afraid a bullet's going to go through their window, who maybe are just going in parts of Montgomery, for example, like my sister-in-law, and you have to duck under your car. So it's not a joke, and it's not localized. It's not centralized. It's everywhere. It is that broken window theory. And when Rudy Giuliani cleaned up New York City, it was a great place to visit.
Oh, it was.
And now it's a dump again. So go Trump. This is, maybe we've agreed the last couple of weeks, not great. These numbers, great. Absolutely great. So yay. You guys, what do you think about Tim Cook stepping down as Apple CEO? Is it just kind of
Is he sick? Because I've seen some things that say it's health issues and some things that don't even mention that.
Well,
but he's staying on as the board.
He's staying on as the Apple executive chairman. And then I think he's swapping with the current executive chairman, I believe, John Turnus.
Well, John is the head of the tech senior vice president of tech, but so he's not sick enough to. Have y'all seen anything about that?
Mm-mm.
Okay, maybe we can look into that, but I couldn't really find a definitive answer. Somebody said health issues, but I'm like, if you have health issues, you don't commit to be the chairman of the board.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Well, that's actually an Alabama story.
Yeah, I whatever, War Eagle, go Tim Cook, but probably time for him to go. Like, Apple hasn't done as much. They haven't been as impressive the past few years. I don't really have much to say.
Y'all need to have
who's y'all?
Auburn
Okay.
needs to have a discussion with Tim Cook, because I heard allegedly he refuses to give any money to sports. He exclusively gives money to academics. You need to have a talk with Tim Cook, because you imagine how the athletic programs would change night and day if he would just stop being so.
Yeah, but I kind of support that, because college isn't about football. It's about learning.
How lame.
It's about orthography.
Come on. Do you want to see your football program be good again?
No, I want kids to learn how to think and get a job and actually put that $100,000 to work.
How lame.
Or they can do both.
There you go, Abs. That's good.
You can do both. But I get it. Tech really does matter. Has he made red phones,
Pencils
though? Has he
matter.
made red phones?
Oh.
Or just orange and blue?
He has made red phones, I think.
Has he?
I think.
Okay.
I've never seen a red phone.
His orange phone is pretty, and that blue one, Will has a blue one, is pretty.
War Eagle. We'll be back with allegedly.
This makes you on this side and me on this side when we've missed the point. We need to go a little bit deeper than a soundbite, in my opinion.
But okay, so how did we get here? Before we move on with, how we handle this, but how did we get here? Is this a social media thing? Is it, yes, you're nodding.
Well, social media is definitely on the tail end of it, but it's been there before. It really, in my opinion, sociologically, you can go back to when we stopped asking for the third question and teaching critical thinking to our children. I can completely disagree with someone and respect their opinion, hold space for them to share it,
Right.
because I could learn from the other side. There are things I could learn. I mean, I was brought up in a very small bubble. I was born on a military base, lived overseas during Vietnam in a military base in Germany, and watched the way they did it. Troops would come back from Vietnam and they would come to Germany and get safe and healed a little bit more before they'd transport them back to Walter Reed in Maryland. And so that's what my first 6 years of life was seeing what that looked like. It's a very narrow point of view. I thought military, it was like God, country, family is the way I was raised. And that's just not it. So when I came back, it was a very different world. And so that's what we've got to recognize is people only know how to live from their experience. If they are not taught to think critically and they're not taught to respect everyone's opinions, and not just that the opinion is valid, their opinion can be valid and wrong.
That's good.
Truth does not bend. Truth is a fact. Truth is from God. And if that's not your starting point, you've got to come up with what your true north is, your compass. But if truth doesn't align with my personal opinion, I've got to do business with the Lord to figure out why it doesn't. And what have I set up that I think this is more important? The kindness. Like if kindness is your idol, it has to be done in a certain way. Like my 15-year-old will tell me, well, if you'd have said it nicely. I'm like, child, nice was the first 62,000 times I've said it to you. You are no longer getting nice. And she's like, but you lose the argument, Mom, when you raise your voice. And I'm like, oh, well, that's going to be horrible for me. I'm Italian. I'm like, But that's what we've got to do is we've got to learn how to hold our space without getting angry, without elevating. Because for me, volume doesn't mean I'm angry. Volume just means I'm passionate. But this generation doesn't understand anger and passion. That's why we've got a lot of discord around people getting involved in things they should not be involved in, getting in the way of ICE. And like I have that conversation almost on a daily basis with my 26 to 15-year-old children, how important it is for them to understand they're not protecting these people. They're getting in the way of law and order. And it's a hard concept for them because the social-minded, emotional generation that they're in thinks we have to protect these people. And I'm like, who are you protecting? And we have to have those conversations. Yeah.
So do you think then on and still staying with the how and the why, do you think that we're here because of all the concentration of social emotional learning in school without those concrete logical things that we learned? We learned how to think logically. We learned how to think critically, and then it just kind of evaporated. Because it seems to me that from all of the emphasis on social emotional learning, we also have then that spike in 20%? I had the 20-ish% of 18 to or Gen Zs have increased and think they're identifying as LGBTQ. I mean, like these things that they're agreeing to or saying they believe in don't make any sense unless they were schooled and trained in all of the SEL techniques. Is that part of it?
It is definitely part of it. I think there's it's not a silo. Nothing is happening, independent of the other. So you take that, you take this push towards tolerance, acceptance, and I don't mean that either one of those are wrong in theory, because they're not wrong in theory. But what it introduced, it's kind of like the law of unintended consequences. I wanted to do this, but it also did this. And so that unintended consequence was we muddied a lot of waters. And as we started teaching it younger and younger and younger, these children don't have the structure and the framework in their brain yet to feel safe when we discuss these topics. So that's why we've got so much anxiety in these kids, is because they're handling topics that we as adults struggle to deal with, but we're giving it to them younger and younger and younger. And like my 15-year-old said the other day, well, is he heterosexual? Because
Hello and welcome back. I'm Amy Beth Shaver with Allison Sinclair and JP. We are the Right Side. And before we roll into allegedly, we have a few stories quickly. JP, there was an announcement made by Steve Marshall. What did he say?
Steve Marshall put up a press release yesterday saying he had a massive legal announcement today, and he's currently doing his press conference. Alabama has reached a $12.2 million settlement with Roblox.
What's Roblox?
Roblox is the online kids game that is very popular. I don't know how to describe it. It's like many different games under one umbrella of Roblox. You go online and play, but it's unfortunately become a child sex trafficking hub where people lure kids away from, via the internet and Roblox. I'm trying to see if I can pull up the exact case and what the settlement means, but that's the announcement from Steve Marshall this morning.
Okay.
What do you think it was?
When I first, I'll be honest,
election related.
Yeah, I was saying I'll be the one to say it. When I saw the press release and before I saw the word legal announcement, I just saw he had an announcement, I thought he was dropping out of the Senate race.
I thought of all the gambling stuff. I thought it might have been something with the PACs.
It could have been.
That.
I mean, it was.
Yep.
It could have been anything. This
Roblox
is great
was
news.
Not on my bingo card, but that is really good, especially with kids kind of our age. There's so many kids that are on Roblox, but I mean, you can. It's everywhere. I don't know how, but maybe it was something where they were purposely predatory or purposefully not paying attention to the predatory actions. Yeah. Something like that.
Can you even imagine we're in this day and age where we say things like this Roblox settlement or whatever, that people think, you know what? You know where I'm going to go get some kids? Online in a game. That's pathetic.
I've heard I've heard several times Jared Hudson say it this way of the days are over when people come and, snatch your kid out of your front yard. They'll just go on the internet and pull them away via the internet. And it's so much because you have a lot less eyeballs on your kid. I mean, you can do as a parent, I guess, all you can to try and stop that. But ultimately it's a lot less control and a lot less something that you can visibly see, to protect your kid. But it is scary. And it's scarier, like you said, when Roblox and others are deliberately just not doing enough to protect kids from that sort of stuff. But Roblox is a just cesspool of that. I actually never really played Roblox growing up, but I know a lot of my friends did. And I know kids who still play Roblox constantly. So
that's odd. I just think that's odd.
Just stick with Minecraft.
Well, I did play GTA, so it probably wasn't very good.
Yeah, you can still talk to weird people across the globe in all those games.
Oh my word. Do you remember listening to your kids playing Fortnite?
Oh, Fortnite.
You're going to bring me back, man. Fortnite.
Was
hours and hours. I mean,
he's so many memories.
Molly took her PS5, whatever it is now, to Auburn. She only used it at the beginning of the school year, but I'm like, can we be done with this?
I love that. That makes me happy.
But it was
Life
happy
was
days.
simple.
Gosh, I thought it was
It's
just
probably still corrupt.
always
going
gonna
to
be that way.
I didn't know it.
Take me back to the days where I would post every victory royale on Snapchat. It's like people, like anybody cares. It's like me and my friends would win, be like, "Oh, we got to post it. We got victory royale."
Did you
Clock
dance?
it.
Oh
Did
yeah,
you do the dance? Yeah.
Oh wait, that's the dance. There's an actual dance.
Yeah.
that was one of them. There's a bunch of them.
You learn new things
So
every
it
day.
was like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Wasn't that where flossing came? Or no?
floss. Yeah.
That's funny.
I can floss.
I'm so glad you can.
My
It took me a long time.
we weren't playing Fortnite,
Coordinate all
but
that.
me and my friend play Fall Guys, which is under the same company as Fortnite, and it's the same sort of victory royale game. And he was wanting me to bring my PlayStation to Dallas so that we could play for the next couple of days. I can't do that, unfortunately.
Oh, your friend.
I
You
can't
are
do
going to Great Wolf. I bet they have one there.
Probably in
You
the
and
lobby.
your friends can play.
You can go play with the other children.
Have to go down the side. Okay, allegedly,
Wait.
what?
Did we want to talk John Fetterman real quick?
Oh,
or
quick.
just to kill some
Yes.
time.
Well,
We don't kill time on the show.
know
we
what?
say
John
important things.
Fetterman is the only Democrat who's been for Operation Epic Fury. And I liked what he said last night, and I'm paraphrasing, but he said basically, how can you Democrats be against what you say was a genocide in Israel, but you're silent when it comes to what's happened to the citizens in Iran? I was like, that's good.
It's ironic.
It's ironic. Outrage over one, not the other. Make it make sense. I thought that was a good word.
Democrats and Republicans that need to fall and hit their head. Somebody push them.
Isn't that kind of ironic? The guy who's a stroke survivor is the most sane Democrat.
Wait, it was a stroke?
He did have a stroke.
Oh,
yeah.
I thought he fell in his head.
Well, he did do
Well, now I
that
have
recently.
guilt.
He did that recently. But yeah, he had a stroke before he even ran for Senate.
Okay, now I feel bad. I don't want anybody to have a stroke.
No.
But
don't
like
either.
a concussion during the congressional baseball practice or something, like would just knock you right. Maybe that would work.
Factory reset you.
Yeah. Unplug, plug back in.
Mm.
It is ironic that he is the voice of reason. It's interesting to watch. Maybe it's Katie Britt.
Maybe it is Katie Britt and her influence.
Maybe it is.
Maybe he'll switch sides.
Maybe he'll come on our show someday. I'm asking.
Maybe.
I don't
Why not? Why not?
I mean, we got an in. We've had his best friend on the show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Speaking of, we need to get her back on the show.
We do.
We need to follow up on that.
Okay.
All right. Do we want to do it?
Now it's time.
Yeah, I need to go first because I'm going to try and do a different accent. Oh, it's going to make my brain hurt.
Really? What is your accent going to be? You're throwing me off.
Yeah, I know. Okay, nobody talk. Let me get into character.
All right. Well, I'm going to have to change mine. Well, mine is a story out of New York.
I
so.
need to channel Bridgerton because this story is straight out of the BBC.
Wait.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Oh gosh, it doesn't work in my head. No, I'm going back. Okay. So allegedly, there's a little bit of hullabub going on with the grubby wall. And the bloody quilling that is happening in the markets of stocks. So, can you play the clip that I sent you? It has to do, it will explain it all and it will help my allegedly voice because it's getting all kerfuffled right now. Hit it.
About the White House, what has the response been from the White House to these allegations?
No response when I contacted them. Spokespeople in the past have made it clear that they do strenuously deny any form of insider trading involving the White House. There was one who told another outlet last month it didn't tolerate any administration official illegally profiteering off of insider knowledge. There's always the possibility, Sally, that traders are getting better at predicting when Trump will make a U-turn or market conditions signal he might intervene in some way. Traders get ahead of that. You can't rule that out. But it's the consistency of these spikes, and it's how often it happens before Trump says something that has got people raising eyebrows.
Okay.
So I don't know if you were following along, but apparently, allegedly, and unfortunately, there's possibly been some coordinating. And JP, you spoke about this one time. You knew that on Friday, when the markets were closed, that these announcements were going to come down the gollywag.
Yes.
And so what they're saying and freaking look at his name.
Oh, that is his name. Oh my word! I don't know how you're going to say Falcon. it has FURKANHAN. That's his actual name.
Unfortunate name.
Oh my goodness!
Fuck.
What is your British name, darling? Is it Cleopatra? Is it Isabel? Is it?
No, it's Penelope.
Penelope. Okay, Penelope.
Okay, so fucking Gazikata says, he says the White House is completely silent as the BBC confirms a consistent pattern of massive financial spikes occurring just minutes before Donald Trump makes market-moving announcements. Scallywag. The administration is facing severe allegations of illegally profiteering. Oh gosh, there came my Southern. Off insider knowledge. So I don't know, but it does seem kind of coinky dinky that all these things are happening at the same time. And I do think that there is some rhyme or reason to when Donald Trump does these things. Because it's like everybody now knows. You think he gives like a MAGA bat signal from the top of the White House, and only you can see it if you have your special glasses. And that signals, go hit that button. Speaking of button, y'all are not going to believe what is breaking right now, too.
Oh, I don't have any idea, Alma.
Well, Patrick Webb.
Who's Patrick Webb?
I don't know. But we trust him. He says, breaking. During an emergency White House meeting, President Trump reportedly attempted to access the nuclear codes, but was blocked by General Dan Raising Cane. According to former CIA analyst Larry Johnson. I think Trump said, give me those codes.
Give me the codes.
He said, slap your hand. He said, no, sir.
You want? I should want them. I want them. What do you want? Why won't you give them to me?
But what was he going to do with those codes? Oh gosh, she's back.
Penelope's back. He was going to obliterate Iran, specifically in the Strait of Hormuz.
Do you think is there someone that literally walks around with the little briefcase?
Yes, darling.
The football.
Do they sleep with it?
Oh yes, because you remember the store that President Bill Clinton lost the nuclear football one time.
He did. Was it that time he was with Monica, or was he with another lady?
Allegedly, perhaps, maybe. But yes, it's an actual briefcase. And there was a time when...
Can you Google that?
Yes.
Yes, there is a person.
You. How do you lose the briefcase of the codes? That seems like something that you should really, really keep up with.
So this is also from the BBC.
Oh.
According to former chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, General Hugh Shelton, President Clinton's, quote, biscuit, or the authorization code, so I don't know why they called it a biscuit, but anyhow, went missing for months, with the loss becoming apparent around 2000. The codes crucial for activating the nuclear football were not found during this period.
Wow. Well, where were they? How did they find it? So they didn't lose the football.
An aide finally admitted they were missing when it came time to replace them, and I'm trying to see how they found it, but it says the codes were missing for months, possibly since late 1999 or early 2000. And it says Pentagon officials checking the codes monthly were repeatedly rebuffed by the White House aides claiming the president was too busy and had them close by. But no. So it is an actual briefcase, like a football.
Wow.
Well, shouldn't you just keep them in the top drawer of the Resolute desk? Like, oh, this is where this is my junk drawer. This is where I put those nuclear
Just
codes.
slide it right there.
Can you imagine that conversation where President Clinton says, talking to Hugh Sheldon, says, I need to talk to you for a second. Close the door. Yes, Mr. President, I have something to tell you. I have lost the nuclear football. Mr. President, what do you mean? Lower your voice. Lower your voice. I don't know where it is, but whatever it is, we need to find it ASAP.
I think it's in Monica's dress pocket.
Bring Monica in here now. We need to have a talk.
Wagging that.
Don't let Hillary see it, but bring her. We need to have a discussion. But yes, it is an actual briefcase.
Oh, Lord. So Donald Trump was heading for the nuclear codes, but the crazy Raising Cane. Hey, maybe I'll go there for lunch today.
And maybe, yeah.
Because I have never been to the Canes.
By the way, Raising Cane was the guy that got crop dusted by Hexy.
He did get crop dusted, and I saw that. I saw that. So,
Phyllis, you have a story?
I do have a story, and it's about Mom Donnie. That daggone Mom Donnie. Oh. And I don't know if y'all have seen this, and I just want y'all to picture this happening in the South. Okay, specifically in the SEC region, but I don't know if y'all saw the news, and I don't know how recently this happened, but y'all know that Mom Donnie's on a tear lately. You know, he was wanting them grocery stores, and it's going to cost a lot of money to keep them free, and bus passes. I don't even know where that stands, but now he took the day and he went and inspected properties with inspectors from NY Department of Housing and some such. And he went in some buildings and they just on the door, and they went in there and they inspected these houses, and the people just let them in, and they were looking at things, trying to figure out if they was up to code. They're looking at paint peeling violations and some window violations and some fire escape violations and some other things. And I just was wondering, because that felt awfully communist to me, socialist. And he said that's who he is. And even though at that point, as I was watching the video, and I actually watched it 3 times because I didn't want to miss anything, because, you know, we're talking about allegedly. But allegedly, it felt like to me, I don't know about you, Allison Sinclair, and JP, I'm sure you've watched your parents or heard them talk about it, but I've never inspected a building or a house for that matter, that I don't own. That's part of the closing process, isn't it? We inspect what we own. And I thought, isn't this ironic? Where Mom Donnie doesn't necessarily own those apartment buildings, but he sure looked like a man who'd like to. And I thought, wow.
I think that's the plan.
I do too, Phyllis, and that's what bothered me.
And it's like, you know, I'm just coming in to ask questions and look around. But then, you know what? I'm going to find some violations and kick you out.
Well, and they're saying on this thing that, you know, even though he was with the inspected apartment, that all these people, New Yorkers, have commented and said there's like hundreds of millions of dollars in open tickets where they haven't done a daggone thing.
Wait,
and here they go to fix problems, and people are saying, but I got peeling paint, and I got this, and I got that. And sometimes they're simping for the people who own the building, but mainly they ignore the people. And I just thought, I wonder what that would look like in the SEC region. Not only does it look like this man would like to own those buildings, just like he's planning on owning lots of things around New York City. But I just wondered, y'all, Clutus, Phyllis, I'm Phyllis.
Yeah,
she's Ima. What would happen if he on the door in the SEC region?
We'll probably get our 12 gauge, and there would be a no-mo Mom Donnie. A no-mo Donnie.
That is what I was hoping you'd say, because I felt real bad. I thought, I ain't letting this man in. I would get my cute pistol, or I get my shotgun and I just like that. And I'd say, Anna, at your own risk. But I wonder, Ima, what would you do?
I'd call the law.
Would you call the law?
I'd call the law.
You so respectable.
I would say there's a man trying to get in my house. Help. And the law would show up like they do in the South, and they would escort him off the property. But after that, I'd probably go and, no, my Tom Sawyer gun is gone.
Where's your Tom Sawyer?
Well, my daughter took it.
Well, good for her.
So I got to find another one. But I would call the law.
Would you call the law?
Yeah.
I would. Once he's on my property, I might be the law.
Well,
but I guess I understand. You're probably most responsible. But I'm just wondering, in the SEC region, what would happen if your mayor was knocking on your door and wanted to inspect your property because they were with the team that does inspections? That just seems odd.
Well, I will say this. If Zoran ever decided to try to enter your home, I don't think he'd be much of a threat. Did you see this man try to bench press that one time?
Oh, I did not. I didn't even know he knew how to bench press.
Well, this was during the campaigns.
No. Are you? Can you find this on the interwebs?
Did he have all them
Can you
rings on his
Google
fingers?
this? I did see him sing The Wheels on the Bus.
He was walking
Oh,
in New
dear.
York City, and there was a place where you could bench press 135, which is 145-pound plate on each side, and he couldn't do it. Let me just give you perspective. I was benching 135 when I was 13. Okay, it is like most people, most men are able to do that relatively early. However, let me see if I can find the video.
Maybe he's not a man.
See if I can find a video of him trying to bench press 135. And what's funny is the spotter when he was there was kind of shocked and wasn't ready to pick it up so early. And they realized, oh, we're about to have a deal. And I got the video here.
Wait, we're about to have a what?
We're about to have a video here up on the screen.
No, what was the spotter saying? The spotter was saying,
Oh no, the spotter behind him was not ready to have to help him so early and realized he couldn't even do one rep. So here's the
Oh no.
This is how you move up in the polls. Yeah.
Oh no.
he's
Don't
like, where do
say
I
it,
put my
Clueless.
hands? I don't even know.
I don't feel
Yeah. Let's go. Yeah. Let me get one more. Let me get three. Yeah.
He never took his hands off.
Yeah, and you know what? That don't even look like a 45-pound plate. That looks like 2 35-pound plates. Those are small plates.
That's small place like we could lift.
So anywho, I wouldn't be threatened, I guess, in the first place. If you saw
Well,
something.
you're probably right. I just thought that was odd because I never heard another mayor just going on the inspection team. And I just am saying, in the Southland, I just don't know that would be welcome.
Would.
Can I add one more little nugget to Ma'am Danny?
Oh, would you?
Nugget.
Because this is funny. So Mom Danny went over to the Mets and had a little photo op and met the Mets mascots. Well, ever since then, they have lost 10 straight games. And if you want to see the cover of the New York Post this morning, it says Curse of the Mambino. And it's actually the Babylon Bee had a article or a headline this morning that was really funny. It says Zoran Mamdani is forcing opponents to redistribute their runs to the Mets during their games.
That's good.
So he's an overall just about he's a curse, Mamdani.
He is a curse. It's funny that.
Do you think him and Donald Trump actually like get along, or they just putting on a face?
Well, you know the saying, you keep your friends close, your enemies closer.
Okay.
I think perhaps Donnie is keeping his enemy close.
I believe that.
Okay.
That's fair.
Okay.
Okay. Clueless.
Well, this store, I may need Allison, or excuse me, Ima, to confirm this store.
I'm a Rosebush is here for you.
I may need you to confirm the store. So as you guys know, There was a Morgan Wallen concert in Tuscaloosa on Bryant Denny on Saban Field at Bryant Denny Stadium. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you, as a Tide man, I was beside myself that our university allowed a volunteer to perform a concert on Saban Field. I was beside myself because, as you know me, I hate Tennessee Orange. I hate that university. I will say that I'm a young fella, and we didn't lose at least in my memory, we didn't lose to Tennessee until I was 21, and it was brutal. However, I believe, allegedly,
I'm trying to think back to our schedule.
that was when y'all threw the goalpost in the river.
I was at that game.
Of course you were.
I was. I said, I am not going on that field. That is what immature people do. And I was waving to the policeman as I jumped the hedges later that night.
I will say it was one of the worst officiated games I've ever seen. But
Anyway,
I
keep
digress. I believe we found, or allegedly I heard, we found a way to allow him to come and perform on the field. I heard that he was actually baptized by Saban in Lake Tuscaloosa at Saban's house on the lake beforehand, and that's how Morgan earned Saban's trust to walk out with him. But also I heard that Morgan walked up to the Saban statue in front of the stadium where he's clapping and kissed the ring on Saban's statue beforehand. And that is how you get this picture right here of Saban cheese. Look, because Saban's like beside himself. He's like, I got him now. I got this volunteer on our side now. And that is how we got Morgan Wallen to walk out with Saban beforehand and go on the field.
Clueless.
But Alma Rose was there, and maybe she can confirm if she saw this happening or not.
Clueless. Did you just make that up?
No, I heard it.
You really heard that he was baptized in the river?
By the Godfather Saban.
Okay, wait, pause. Did you really hear that?
Oh, Allison.
It's a bit.
Sorry. Oh, okay. Well, yes, that mullet was flowing through the river. And Saban said, you will be saved from that Tennessee Orange. And he rose up and was a new man. And then he went out and he kissed the ring. Mm-hmm. And then that was how they got together forever. But Saban did look really, really happy.
He was so happy.
And I'm sitting there and I'm saying, Coach, what are you doing? This is a ball. You can't be.
But we're all family. You know, at the end of the day, aren't we all together in this world? One SEC family?
No.
No?
I'm not. I'm a Tide man.
Does that shirt that he's wearing, that half zip, does that say Tide?
It says Tide.
Or does it say Coach? It says Tide.
It says
right.
Tide.
It says Tide.
Okay. He looks real happy. Real happy. I do notice that.
I will say, I did think that night that Morgan Wallen could have dressed up a little more or something, but I guess that's who he is. I just thought he just looked like he kind of rolled out of bed. But I digress. You know, it was a good night and Saban was there and it was kind of crazy. The whole place erupted. So I think that baptism and that ring kissing was worth it. Go Vols.
Allegedly.
I
say allegedly because I don't mean to be sacrilegious. But
I really thought Saban baptized him.
I know you did.
Because he's been on a little bit of a journey. And I was like, maybe he just wanted to I don't know. I'm glad you clarified because I'd go to Texas this week and start telling people the pastor's conference.
Y'all just won't believe it.
Morgan Wallen been baptized in the river Tuscaloosa.
And I wasn't trying to imply it was Christian baptism. I was just trying to imply his ways of orange, Tennessee Vol, pumpkin orange. He's now a Crimson Tide man.
He's been clean.
Pumpkin orange.
That is the worst orange ever.
It's terrible orange.
It is. I never, when I was at school there, I never wore it. You just wear, like I would wear khaki and white because back then everybody wore khaki.
Oh, yes, we wore Dockers.
Khaki? Do you know what khaki is?
Do you know what khaki?
Yeah,
like a pants?
Like khaki pants.
Yeah.
It's khakis.
But we wore little khaki shorts.
And topsiders. Yeah, we did.
Yeah, we did. Some days I wore a ribbon in my hair. Did you wear ribbons?
Oh, girl, yes, I did.
I did.
Yes, I did.
Made me look sweet.
Mm-hmm.
It was so deceiving. Hey, y'all, we're going to Texas. So we won't be back until Friday. But I don't know, JP, what do we have for the people tomorrow?
We don't even know.
And rewatch the old shows, unfortunately.
You got to tune in. It's going to be a banger. And who knows? Maybe we'll go live from Texas.
You don't know.
Can we do that? Can
JP's
we go
not
live
sure.
on our
We may go
could.
live.
We
yes,
could.
we could. We
We
should.
could.
That
We
would
will.
be fun, unless the speaker's a banger, and then we'll have to
No.
stay tuned.
JP on the water
Well-
slide tomorrow. Live. Right here on the right side. We'll see y'all.